Hello, gamers, and welcome back into Timberborn. This episode is going to be a little different than our last one, or our all of our previous episodes, because we had a bit of technical difficulties on our previous episode. Unfortunately, when I was recording, my mic was not picking up any of my voiceover, and I should have that fixed for upcoming episodes, but I thought about re-recording the episode, but it's just a very tedious one, so I didn't want to record it. We're gonna do kind of we're gonna watch the previous episode, and I'm gonna kind of try to narrate what was going on as I was playing, and then we're gonna kind of speed through it, and we'll have some gameplay in the second half. So right here, I am putting in a pathway that I had forgot in previous ones, and that is gonna really help with our throughput on our builders and haulers here. They were having to go all the way around all the industry because we forgot that path, and we also forgot a path up here. But I'm gonna just speed this up a little bit as we watch past this so that we can get to the other content that I have planned for this episode. So in this episode, we're focusing on getting our tubeway underground here, and we're gonna redo this food processing area. It is not quite what I want, and I'm just feeling a little cramped here. So we're gonna readjust some things, add some more space, and send this tubeway under our reservoir, along with connecting up all our power so we can kind of delete some other power shafts that are in our way elsewhere. So I'm just starting to explain how we're going to get everything over, but we've got this bad water right underneath where we'd kind of like to put our tunnel and our power shaft. So we're going to need to put them a little bit further up at that level there, just below the reservoir, and then we'll be able to safely pass over our pressurized bad water pipe. And we're just putting in a little bridge here so that we can get across to do the terrain work over there. And we'll just, yeah, we're connecting our tube line station up finally. And we'll get, we're right here, we're starting to figure out how we're going to get across to the other side. We're going to need to put in a power shaft here to get everything connected up. And this is the level that we've decided to come across with the tunnel, and that should make us safe from that pressurized bad water a couple levels below where the tunnels are currently being placed. And yeah, we deleted those because we don't really want all of this water to leak out right now. We're going to end up having to leak some water out in the near future, but we don't really need that tube line station there. At least I thought we didn't. We will end up putting a station back over there temporarily later in the video. So yeah, we are also noting that I never connected this power shaft over here, which may or may not be an issue for us in the future. Right now, it doesn't matter because the fermenters that are connected to that power shaft we're not actually using, and we'll end up redesigning the whole thing shortly. But we're gonna try to get in our tubeway network here to connect up with this portion, and we're just tunneling for it and sort of figuring out if everything's in the right place. I apologize for no music because we're sped up right now. The music sounds really crazy when it's 2 times speed. So we're just gonna go audio voiceover only for the first part of this episode. We'll put down a impermeable floor there to prevent our water from leaking into our tunnel shaft. And now it's time to get this power line in. So we'll go ahead and place that in. That'll get us closer to our goal, but you might notice right now that the power line isn't actually turning, and we will address that a little later on once we remember that that power's not actually connected to anything quite yet. But we'll continue getting our tubeway in here and hopefully not leaking too much water out of our reservoir. But it's not that big of a deal because we're only at, um, we're almost finished with this drought. So we'll have more water coming in here very shortly. And I decided to put the tubeway back in here to make sure that we're able to, we're shortly going to need to delete the other tubeway. So that'll give us a method to get back over where we need to be. And right now we are planning how we're going to reconfigure the staircase to get up and over our tunnel and tunnel into the new portion that we're trying to get to. So this will just be a little bit of reconfiguring so that we can, I don't exactly remember why I needed to do that. Oh yeah, we're redoing this so that we can get down to the other side, a couple tiles up. And we get rid of that tube station because we want to move it back one. And we need to do this anyway to bring the tubes and the vertical power shafts in. And we'll just cover that back up with some terrain. Yeah, again, I apologize for this format. I know it's not exactly what you've come to expect on this channel. And yeah, technical difficulties. I really thought whether I should re-record this whole thing, but you'll see that this is not a particularly interesting episode anyway, and I just felt that doing it this way would at least give us some more content for today. We're going to be doing a more normal second half of the video, but I just want to make sure that you guys can see everything that we got done here and how it was accomplished. Yeah, so we're getting over to that other tunnel now. We're getting this new tubeway station in, and we are thinking about where we're going to place our power shaft. Thinking really hard about how we're going to place our power shaft. Yep, and in order to make this connection, we have to delete part of our network so that we can get a vertical tube down. And that links up right there, which will allow us to get in there and tunnel in from the other direction. And here I'm just admiring all of the beavers going through this network. So we're making good progress on this tunnel here. And I don't think I actually needed to delete that, but it's no harm to do so. So yeah, let me know if this format is fine. If something like this happens again, you know, it'd be nice to have some music going on. I know we don't have any game audio or music at the moment, but I do appreciate you bearing with me for this little snafu here. Here we realize that we don't want the power shaft on the side we had originally laid out for the tunnel. So we're going to put the power shaft in on the other side. Because otherwise our path is going to have to cross over the power shaft, and yeah, it'll be easier this way. And I fill some of this stuff back in for just aesthetic reasons. There's really no good reason to do so. And we're just making slow progress, filling in this tunnel, getting everything linked back up. So yeah, not really an episode I wanted to record again, because it is a rather intricate little dance we're doing here to try to get this done without leaking all of our water. And we're just talking about how much we've filled up the reservoir. We're talking about plans to fill the reservoir in so that we have access to all of that water. And that may be something we end up doing in the next part of this episode. I haven't gotten there yet with recording, so we will find out. And now we're realizing that this power shaft isn't actually connected to our power network. So we're going to go ahead and get that linked in. But we have to get down there first, so we are figuring out a good way to get down there, and this is what we decide on. Check back in over here to complete this part of our tubeway. And we realize somehow a beaver got stuck inside of that tubeway. I have no idea how that happened. That is, I think maybe the tubeway got built over him and he got trapped in there. That's the only explanation I have, because there wasn't any entrance into that tubeway, which is quite strange. And now we are going to do this tunnel, which, or do we end up doing it? I can't recall, because this, oh yeah, this is sealed now, so we do end up having a bit of a water snafu here, but you'll see that shortly. We're just putting in the power shaft along here. On the other side of the tubeway, they can build from inside the tubeways, so we're able to quickly backfill that power line. And we'll come back over here to check out this tunnel, how we're going to get down through here to link up our power. And we'll just go straight along to the power shaft that is on that other side. Pretty close to all these bad water sources. It's a little dangerous. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us in later retrofits and things. So yeah, we already had this ill-fated tunnel that we can use, but this is cut off. Doing that has cut off all of our power, so that's why we're getting a very high priority on that, to try to get power back to everything that needs it. And we're realizing that we didn't quite put the tunnel in the right place again, but you know, that's okay. And we're trying to get our spare bots employed. So we're adding some builders huts for bots. Again, it's not something that I love to do, having bots as builders or haulers, really. They're not the greatest for that on Iron Teeth, at least. because they need that charger nearby. And my builders and haulers, they're going all over the map doing stuff. I don't always have power for them to charge. So bots for Iron Teeth are much better as uh, somebody who works at a stationary place, not traveling all over the map. And it's at this point we can delete our old tubeway, start backfilling, because we'll bring out this land to the other to out a few tiles more to give us some more space to work with on our food processing area. And getting the side of the tunnel linked up for power. And adding another hauling post for some beavers, some unemployed beavers that we have, and another bot builder's hut. So trying to do this with minimal disruptions to our network, but it looks like we have to yet again disrupt our transit network. But we'll be able to get this all reconnected relatively quickly with the priority tool there. Cool, so back underground, we'll throw the rest of this tunnel in, or the rest of the power line in, rather. And we're admiring our reservoir again. I don't remember some of the stuff that I said. I'm sorry. This is a different type of video. But let me know if you think there was a better way I could have done this, if I should have just bitten the bullet and re-recorded everything, or if this is okay. This isn't something that's going to be a habit. I have. This is a good lesson to always make sure you check your mic levels before you start recording. So, yeah, we got to let out a little bit of this water because we flooded, um, you know. So we're just gonna open this sluice for a little bit to let some of that excess water pour out. And here we're talking about all of our mangroves. We have been unmarking stuff for cutting as they are getting rid of those dead mangroves. We're trying to revive that mangrove forest, although it is less necessary now that we've got a ton of mangroves coming from the Oasis. But it would still be nice if we could pull some mangroves from this side. And we're getting our power connected again over here, which connects us all the way down and all the way through over to the other side. So now we can go ahead and rip. We don't want to rip out the left side quite yet, because we're getting a little bit of power from that big wheel in the river. But we can rip out all this power and clean this area up. So we did lose power to the oil press and those two chargers, but that's okay. We're gonna end up deleting them right now anyway to redo this area. And here I'm thinking about a different solution for this bad water. It's going to be more long term, but it would be nice if all of this area didn't get the nasty contamination stuff around it. And if we put in some levees on the sides rather than terrain, with the irrigation barrier at the bottom that should contain all of the contamination to the channel. So yeah, to that narrow 1x1 channel there. So we're putting in dynamite to essentially transform this channel into a protected, non-bad contamination spreading sort of thing, and filling in the old channel over there. And yeah, we won't have that bit of power coming from the bad tide that we had before, but it's really not, we don't really need that power anymore. We've got plenty of other power. And we're finally cleaning up this little strip of land at the bottom of the reservoir that's been there for a long time now, many episodes. But yeah, we'll fill this in with levees and that'll make a nice channel, but we missed a dynamite. So yeah, levees all the way down, contamination barriers at the bottom, and that will essentially make it so that no contamination should leak out from here. It doesn't really matter because we're not planning on growing crops up here or anything, but it will just be nice to make sure that we're not spreading too much contamination. And we're putting in, again, this is not necessary to put the impermeable floor on there because it's not pressurized, but we might end up putting buildings over this over this kind of sewer system here. So it'll be, and we may end up needing to pressurize that aquifer to get it into our bad water system later on. So just having these impermeable floors on there, they're only one metal each. They're not very expensive. Will give us some more options with this aquifer in the future. And we accidentally kill a bot. I'm very remorseful about it in the video, but yeah, that was not great. I didn't expect that bot to go out there. He didn't have anything to do out there besides picking up rubble, and so he must have been going out there to pick up rubble, which unfortunately was his last task for us. And yeah, right now we are rearranging the channel a little bit. We wanted to make things line up a little bit better. And that will be just a nice aesthetic thing. I do dynamite a couple of pieces that I didn't need to, but not a big deal to fill it back in. So now, yeah, we're just gonna fill in this channel so that we have one more tile of space over there, which will be nice because we'll be able to fit another well-being building in later. And this channel is being straightened out here, and we are going to put a few floodgates on top to be able to better control our water levels. But of course we need to be able to get in there and get across and build all that stuff, so that's what that platform's for. And I'm just explaining stuff about the contamination that I've already told you now. So I won't say it again. We're getting this filled in, and we're getting probably pretty close to the point in the episode where we're going to switch over to live, not live, but, you know, me recording live while I'm playing at least. Yeah, the voiceover feels a little weird, but and we're talking about adding more buildings in. We're also talking about how we know that we don't need both showers and swimming pools, but you know, you should always shower before and after getting into a pool. So, you know, we're going to keep the showers. And just a little bit more aesthetic work here. Trying to make this look a little bit more cohesive. So just a couple of dirt tiles in there. so that our dam makes sense. And it's at this point we try to start designing. Yeah, I remember what's going to happen here. So it's at this point we try to start designing our food processing, and it doesn't really go that well, but we're just for now moving our path. We want a little bit of space. I like to have that space in front of the tubeway station for the bot chargers. And yeah, we are equivocating about power here. And for a good while here, I think that I'm going to be able to transfer power with hydroponic gardens. And so we spend a good amount of time playing around with this, thinking about how our hydroponic gardens are going to go in and where they're going to go. But eventually I realized that the hydroponic gardens don't actually transfer power, unfortunately. Um, and we're readjusting where our power comes up because I'm hoping that the hydroponic gardens will transfer power vertically through the middle tile because it looks like maybe that tile transfers power. But as you'll see, it turns out that even the middle tile, does not transfer any power in the hydroponic gardens. So I'm just going to speed this up a little bit more so that we can get through to the next part of the video. And this part is a little slow anyway. So yeah, we're trying some stuff. We're trying to build some things up. We're putting in our first hydroponic gardens and hoping that they will transfer power. But now we're realizing that it doesn't look like they do. And it's at this point I think that, hey, maybe it's the middle tile that transfers the power. So we decide to do some more rearranging of the power shafts here to see if we can get the power shaft coming up in the middle tile. And I don't remember why I deleted that. I was trying to do something that didn't work out, and we had to put it back in. And we realized that we didn't have a power connection to that tubeway station. So we're getting the power connection into that tubeway station. Yeah. And here we're trying to figure out why this isn't connecting. And we decide to see if moving the power shaft to that middle tile there might transfer power. Because maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought that hydroponic farms transferred power. I swear they did in an older build of the game. I could be wrong. I mean, absolutely could be wrong. But I mean, they clearly don't. At least in 1.0, they do not transfer power. Or at least I couldn't get it to work if they do. So we are continuing to work on this ill-fated retrofit, and we will find out shortly that it doesn't work. I'm gonna just keep speeding up through this end part because this is stuff that, I could have re-recorded this and pretended that I was, smarter and knew more about the game and all that stuff, but I'm just showing you the process here of figuring out that, hey, nope, looks like hydroponic farms do not transfer power, which is unfortunate. We're seeing that you can get power from below, from the food factory, but the hydroponic garden doesn't actually transfer power. So we decide to go with a different layout, and we start trying to figure out how we're going to lay this all in. And I'm showing an example of a good design that somebody in the comments left, but unfortunately the food factories don't transfer power through the corners. They only transfer power through the middle section. So that design that that person shared, unfortunately, was not going to work. And here I'm just trying to figure out maybe we can do something to bring the power shaft up through, but I don't like it, so we rip it out, and then I decide that we will just go ahead and do that design offline, and which I do, and we come back in to talk about it. So I'll see you in a moment. Hello, gamers. Hello again. Welcome to the second part of this episode. This is what I've put together for the food processing area. I'm starting to wonder if I need a couple more storages in here, but we've got some space over here. We can put down a few things if needed. Because I think there's a couple more ingredients to these recipes that we're not quite getting over here. But this is what I came up with. So it's just 6 warehouses. We're hoping for basically input and then output on all these warehouses for these 3. And then over on this side, we've got the hydroponic gardens. We have these in such a way that I believe we'll be able to spiral up, but it looks like maybe not. We might have to redo this staircase over here if we want to add any more, but I think for now just 2 of each of these should be fine. And we're going to repeat this thing over on this side. We just need to get some of this dynamite in, and then we'll get those sorted. This is going to be for canola oil. And, oh, I lost everything. This one is going to be the canola itself, canola seeds. So we can copy that one over, and we'll copy these blank ones over here. And let's get this figured out, how this all is going to go. I'm just basically going to mirror what's on this side. So the way we had that was this here, flip these. Cool. And then to get up there, one of those. And how did we do this? We didn't, we've done this a little differently. How did I do this over here? Oh yeah, it came from the other pathway. So it comes from this pathway. Yeah, and then a platform there, and then it links in. Okay. This one can flip right and flip again into there. And same thing here. Cool. And we do have a couple extra spaces we can put some stuff in as we figure out what we're gonna do. So they're getting all this stuff in really quick. So let's pause for a moment and figure out what everything's gonna do. Let's make this the corn. And so I'm thinking we bring raw corn over here. And then on this one, we do corn rations supply. This will be obtain. Okay. Over here, we'll do the eggplant. So we'll have eggplant. We'll do the raw ingredients over here. So raw eggplant. going to be here, and then the eggplant rations we'll put over here. And this one will be algae, and we'll do algae there, right? That's how we have it, yeah. And then algae rations here. Cool, and we want to make all these guys bots. Okay. And let's set these up. We'll do, so we had algae here, so we should make these ones the algae. And we'll unlock this for bots. Algae here. Okay. So we should store, we should do, okay, so we're going to do fermented cassavas here. This will be, oh, I said that was going to be canola. Okay. So what should this be? Maybe the canola should go up here, actually. Yeah, let's do canola there, and this will be for raw cassavas. And then we'll do cassava, fermented cassavas over here on supply. This should also be obtain. We can copy the settings there. Okay, and... Actually, we're gonna do... This is not even right. Okay, let's do... We'll do fermented cassavas here. Supply. This will be cassavas obtain. Fermented, okay, and then this is going to be for the soybeans. So we'll do raw soybeans here and fermented soybeans over here. Okay, and then this is going to be our canola again. This will be supply and obtain over there. Okay, great. And this is going to be fermented mushrooms, and this will be mushrooms, obtain, fermented mushrooms, supply. And then we want these guys to be doing mushrooms. Oh. Mushrooms, bot. All of these bots. Okay, and now that should be set up. Let's go ahead and take it off a pause. And we've just got a flood of workers coming in to get this done. Okay, is there anything in these recipes? Yeah, there's logs. That's specifically what I was thinking of. We don't have any log storage over here. Logs for algae, corn, and the eggplant. So it definitely makes sense to have some log storage here. This just takes mushrooms, soybeans and canola, cassava. So this is the only thing that uses canola? Oh no, these use canola as well. Okay. So where can we get some log storage in here that makes sense? We can just put something down over here. Maybe we'll just do that for a small storage for logs, just right here. Obtain logs. Because it's not much. They only use 0.1 of a log, so I think a small storage will be just fine right there. And hopefully they'll get the rest of this put together, and that's our food area sorted out, which is really nice. And I wanted to also add some more well-being stuff over here. I was thinking, if we look at our scores, let's take a look at the fun. So we've got enough swimming pools, looks like. Exercise plaza, maybe, maybe not. We might be able to use another one of those. Mud baths, I thought we were good, but maybe we need to add another one. We could. Just gonna give them a little more time to sort of figure that out before we decide what else to add in here, because we can add 3 more buildings in, so we can do a second one of all of these. And maybe that's just what we end up doing. I would need to get power over here in order to do that, though. Okay, well, technical difficulties round 2. So yeah, if we want to get anything else over here, we've got to get the power over here somehow. And I don't feel like messing around with that. I've already been messing around with the power so much this episode already. So let's look at another project. I wanted to fill in this reservoir. Mainly because we don't have access to any of this water underneath. Now, this reservoir can definitely accommodate more water, but we can build it up. So I'm not sure. It doesn't make... It's not super necessary to do. So maybe we'll wait on that as well. How's our metal doing? Okay, we're almost out of metal, so I think it's a great time to finally get in a mine. Let's do that. So I'm thinking our first mine should be over here. It's close to this tubeway. Won't be that hard to connect it. We can just do an, easy, normal connection rather than an underground one for this part. But we just got to figure out how we're going to get up there in a way that doesn't look too bad, hopefully. And I'm thinking, let's see, this path, maybe we come... Maybe we just go up right there, then it won't be in the way of anything. I hope it won't be in the way of anything that I've got planned for the future. Okay, cool. Mine. And into it. We won't quite connect that yet. Okay, these... What's unconnected? You're unconnected. They don't want to build this, huh? Can't... Oh, we are short on planks. Okay. Time to add some stuff back here. I think since we're getting this other mine online, it makes sense to get this in. I believe that's going to possibly disconnect all of our power from here. No, we've got a different connection, so that's really good. Yeah. Yeah. We're only getting 800, so this is quite important. Let's get rid of this. Let's get another lumber mill in. Try to take care of our plank deficit. And it looks like the other stuff is doing okay. We're just going to add one of these for now and see if that... We could... We got 1, 2, 3, 4... a fifth. I don't feel like doing the math, really, on how many planks I need to be producing. So, since we've still got spare bots, let's just go ahead and put another one in. Why not? Getting this in is pretty crucial. Ah, we don't have any planks. Right. It's gonna be hard to build that with no planks. There's a bunch of corn and eggplant and food back there. Let's build this down to go get it. Well, that was really not good. Hopefully they'll be able to get this in shortly because our industry is really suffering from a lack of power at the moment. I think all we've got is these 2 geothermal engines powering all of the industry right now. So that That is pretty important to get those planks in. Do we have any planks laying around on the ground anywhere? Some metal blocks. Probably some planks here, but let's see if we can push these over. Not that one. Okay, awesome. So those are some planks. That'll help us. Any other planks around? And I feel like we were just flush with planks. But then as soon as you start doing bots, it's like it really eats through all your materials. So, man, I really should have checked if we had enough planks for that before I put it in. This is pretty painful, but they're getting to it. They haven't picked these up yet. It's too far. Really? I thought you could pick that up from the corner here. You can't? Huh. Really thought that was a thing. Can we push it on top? Doesn't look like it. Yep, making it worse. But now since it's down here, they can get it. Okay, alright. We'll take those. Okay. Someone... It's too far. What's disconnected? There's gotta be something that's disconnected. I'm confused. Do we have part of our network unconnected? Man, now it's really hard to tell. Maybe we can observe based on how the beavers are moving. I'm pretty sure everything's connected. Like, this is for sure connected. So is that. It's too far. What the heck? What's going on? I'm very confused by that. Well, at least this is in. We've got our power restored over here. But yeah, what the heck is going on with the... It says everything's connected. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just wondering if maybe this is like glitched or something. It says they can get down there. I don't know. Let's clean this up a little. All right, well, we're not going to worry about it. Everything's back online. We've got a couple more plank factories in. All is good. So, there we go. Nothing to do in range. So these guys are done. Let's empty this. And now we are hoping to get this mine done. This probably wants a bunch of treated planks. All right. Well, we've got enough of those. Luckily, it doesn't want regular planks because we are woefully behind on those. But we'll have to just keep an eye on this number and see if it's going to be going up or not. It looks to me like it's trying to climb up a little, but we're spending quite a lot of planks right now on this other stuff, so. So I want to come over and just check on these huts. We've still got builders, still got the, okay. Once we get this mine in place, we are going to be able to get rid of these two huts here. We may not quite have enough bots to run the mine full tilt, but I don't think we need to run the mine full tilt. And if we need a few more bots, we can put in a control tower over here, and that'll up our bot numbers because it'll up the efficiency of these guys. And we do want eventually to get control towers and the other one, the grease for the bots. but I'm not quite ready to do that yet. But hopefully all this stuff is coming together shortly. And yeah. So I also started putting in something over here in the other episode. Or in a break between a different episode. I'm not totally sure how this is going to work out, but I'd like to get a tube over here at some point. And looks like they've got all of this stuff in. That's awesome. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see whether two of these is enough mushrooms and algae for everybody. We may need to add some more. Do I have bot haulers? What are you doing? Carrying scrap. Unemployed carrying scrap metal around. See, that is very curious to me. I have no idea. I've seen bots out of energy carrying scrap metal. Like, where are you going? Oh, you're bringing this? Oh, we want to empty that. I don't know why you guys are going all over. You're going way over there for your scrap. Were you once employed in a smelter? Should have plenty of scrap. There's plenty of scrap right there. I don't know what these bots are doing. I really would like to follow one to figure if I can click on you. You're unemployed, out of energy. You're coming to charge. And now you work at the hauling post. Okay, so I must have... Okay, I guess I do have a hauling post that's for bots. I forgot about that. Yeah, we've got this one right here. So yeah, we've still got plenty of bots. We don't want bot haulers, so they will be miners. But let's double check the recipe here for this. We are going to want treated planks. And do we do extract? That reminds me... we are not producing enough bad water, so we've definitely got to turn this on and hopefully get some more bad water in. And I think let's make all of these guys bots as well. Cool. They're a little bit far from the chargers, but we've got several chargers over here. I think they'll be all right. Okay, and we may need to add another centrifuge. I'm not sure about using the extract recipe yet. I don't think we need 10 metal an hour quite yet, or 10 metal every 2 hours, 1.8 hours. But we want to put in some other storages here, at least for treated planks. So let's go ahead and obtain treated planks. And I suppose we can prioritize that. This is going to be for bots. Also, we're kind of eating into our science and not making any. So I'd like to get in a number cruncher somewhere. I'm thinking just pop it somewhere over here because we don't... Doesn't need to be near our industry or anything, but there's still a few things that I want to unlock, and getting a number cruncher in is going to be nice to have some more science income, because there are still a few things to unlock. Try and get it in like this corner right here. That's not it. Science. It is there. Cool. All right. Some logs, gears, and planks over there. It'd be nice. It's too far. See that? I'm wondering about that, you know? Oh, okay. You can grab those. What was going on down here? It still says it's too far. What the heck is going on with that? That is really strange to me. Maybe, like, just reloading the game would fix it, but they should be able... They can get down here. I don't know. Very weird. We may need even one more bad water pumper. We'll see if they're able to catch up with that extra pump in. Looks like this number is going up. Our planks are definitely going up. And here we go. Yeah, let's just do regular scrap metal now. We can do efficient if we are deciding that we want more scrap metal. Let's put another storage here for scrap metal, and that'll be on supply. So, yep, those guys are working. Man, kind of makes sense to do the extract too. All right, we'll go efficient. We will go medium tank, extract, obtain right there. Okay, cool. We got a mine in. We got our number cruncher back in. I know we have 18k science, but eventually we'll need to unlock the repopulator, and that's 20k, so we're not quite there. There's a few more things we probably are going to want to unlock. And there's still probably a few few workplaces that are going to need some science to convert over to bots. Wow, this is so many. Why? Okay, I don't actually want you to put scrap metal in here, is the thing. I think they're emptying the other ones. See, supply, I think supply should work. How I want supply to work is I want these guys to be able to put scrap metal in here. I don't want haulers to be able to put scrap metal in here. I want haulers to be able to take scrap metal out of here to bring it to other storages. But I want, if I set something to supply, I want basically only people who are offloading industrial buildings to be able to put stuff in there. So like these workers, if their storage gets full and the haulers don't take care of it, they need a place to stash their scrap metal. So they'll start taking their scrap metal out of here and looking for a location to put it. I want this to be the location that they put it. I want this to be empty. Not empty, but like I don't want the haulers to be filling it up. So I'm not exactly sure how to achieve that, but yeah. And there's a bit of a mess over here. We got to figure out what to do with this area and how we want this all to look. I'm very tempted to fill in this reservoir, and I think instead of just talking about it, let's go ahead and do it. So let's fill all this in. Probably makes sense to build it from the other direction. Yeah, it probably does. Yeah, we'll just switch it around right now. That'll be fine, I think, hopefully. Okay, yeah. Up to that level is pretty good. Because this level, as we noted several times, is the same as this level right here. So that'll make all this water usable. Whether or not we end up using it will be another story. But at least this way, yeah, and there's going to be a little gap because of the sluice right there. That's okay. We will live with that. Yeah, so that's the level. We want the reservoir. Awesome. Do the same over here. Cool. And I got a comment about something that I wanted to double check. So the bad water is all sealed in here. Very good, all sealed up. Even though it doesn't look like there's impermeable floors, there are. Okay, that's good. This bad water is also all sealed up. Okay. That two-way is close to that bad water source. Oof. Scary. Curious. I'm gonna have to save and reload the game and see if that is still too far. That's strange. Maybe there's something blindingly obvious that I'm missing, but that seems really odd. Everybody's hungry and thirsty. Our working hours are 16. We have enough water. Just because they're working really far away? I guess so. This is like so horribly inefficient. I really should fix this. Let's do that. Okay. Let's do that. Make this a high priority so that hopefully they do it before the other stuff. And I don't need to fill that in. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a little silly to have two staircases right here, right next to each other, but I'm just planning for possibly raising this reservoir in the future. And for this big hole in the ground, what are we going to do? I'm thinking about having some kind of a system. I don't think it's going to be very hard, where we let water into here and we can pump that water out so that we have, because we're currently not pumping any water from this aquifer or these two aquifers here. The only water we're pumping for our colony is from this aquifer right here. And we're getting to beaver numbers. We're at nearly 150 beavers. That this aquifer might not be able to actually support all of us. So I could just add pumps up here. It's really far away though. I think if I come up with a system that we can fill this, have a nice tank right here of clean water that we pump, and that'll be close to this, can, fill these. Some of these things need water, like the hydroponic gardens use quite a bit of water. So having water close makes sense. Having water pumping close for sure. So I was thinking to shrink this reservoir a bit, reduce some of our evaporation, store excess water in here, and then have a smaller section of dam to like irrigate this, and we can grow some more crops down here or something. I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit more. And I don't think that's something for this episode, which is coming to a close. Sorry for the weird format on this one. We are hoping that is not something that's going to persist. And I've changed around some settings. If you're familiar with how Windows just decides that after it goes to sleep, it should power off all your USB ports, even when you start the computer again. That's basically what happened. So anyway, I usually catch it. I didn't catch it this time, and I've gone in to my settings and disabled that auto sleep function of the USBs. So hopefully we should be all good to go. But here's the main thing we accomplished today. We got this whole setup going, and it's working beautifully. I don't think we've harvested any of our new crops here yet. They take quite a while. So yeah, I just remember in some older patches these produced quite a lot, so I'm hesitating to add too many more, but if we need more of these hydroponic farms, we'll put them in. So thank you all so much. I am so happy that you joined me to watch this video today, and the next one should be more normal, or at least what you're used to with my channel. Normal's a stretch for me. So anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your day, or week, or however long it is until we see you again. Thanks for joining me. If you made it this far in the video, a like would be very much appreciated. Subscribing really helps out the channel, so do those things if you feel like it. If not, we'll see you again, hopefully. And bye-bye for now. We'll see you in the next one.